I need to be honest with you. Something is coming in 2026 that most people are not paying attention to. Climate scientists, agricultural experts, and food industry insiders are quietly preparing for what they are calling a significant harvest disruption. And while I cannot predict the future, I can tell you what smart people are doing right now. They are stocking up on specific bulk items from Costco before March, and I'm going to show you exactly what is in my cart. Hit that subscribe button right now, because this information could save you thousands of dollars and a whole lot of stress in the coming months. Let me tell you why Costco specifically. During every supply chain disruption over the past 5 years, Costco's bulk model meant they had inventory when other stores were empty. Their warehouse system and buying power make them the last place to run out. But here's the key. You need to know what to buy. Let me walk you through the 10 items I am personally stockpiling and why each one matters. Item number 1 is Costco's Kirkland Organic Coconut Oil. This is sitting right there in the cooking oil section, and most people walk right past it thinking it is just another trendy health food item. But let me tell you what changed my mind completely. Last year, I was talking to a food distribution manager who has been in the business for 30 years. He told me that coconut oil is one of the most stable fats on the planet. Unlike vegetable oils that go rancid in months, coconut oil lasts for years without refrigeration. The Costco pack gives you two 84-ounce jars for about $30. That is over 10 pounds of pure, stable fat. And here is what most people do not understand about a harvest failure scenario. The first thing that disappears is not just food. It is cooking oil. Restaurants panic by it. Food manufacturers hoard it. Shelves go bare in hours. But coconut oil can do everything. You can cook with it at high temperatures without it breaking down. You can use it as butter substitute in baking. You can eat it straight for instant energy. You can even use it for first aid on burns and cuts because it is naturally antimicrobial. I keep 6 jars in my pantry right now, stored in a cool, dark place. They will outlast almost everything else in your stockpile. The shelf life on these is easily 3 to 5 years, and I have personally used jars that were 4 years old with zero degradation in quality. During a crisis, fat is critical. Your brain needs it. Your body needs it for absorbing vitamins. Your kids need it for growth. Rice and beans will not cut it without adequate fat. And coconut oil delivers that in a shelf-stable package that nobody is fighting over yet. Look, grocery prices are rising faster than most people can keep up with. I have done the math for you and put together a free emergency pantry blueprint that lists the exact 15 items you must keep, which you can buy from any store. It can feed your family for 2 weeks and cost less than takeout. You can grab the list for free at the link in description so you can stop worrying and start prepping. Item number 2 is Kirkland rolled oats. I am talking about the massive 10-pound bags sitting in the cereal aisle. Most preppers completely overlook oats, and it is one of the biggest mistakes in food storage. Here is why this matters. Oats are not just breakfast food. They are survival food that civilizations have relied on for thousands of years. The Costco Kirkland oats are old-fashioned rolled oats, which means they are minimally processed. When stored properly in airtight containers with oxygen absorbers, these will last up to 30 years. 30 years. Compare that to the fancy freeze-dried breakfast pouches that expire in 5 years and cost 10 times as much. One bag costs about $8. I bought 10 bags last month. That is 100 pounds of oats for $80. Do the math on calories. Each bag contains roughly 17,000 calories. That is 170,000 calories for $80. You cannot beat that anywhere. But here is where oats become brilliant. You can eat them raw if you need to. Soak them in water overnight, and they are perfectly edible without cooking. In a situation where fuel is scarce or cooking is not possible, this is massive. You can grind them into flour for baking. You can make oat milk by blending them with water. You can use them to thicken soups and stews. My family learned this during a week-long power outage 2 winters ago. We made overnight oats in mason jars with a little dried fruit and cinnamon. No cooking required. The kids loved it, and we saved our propane for dinner. Storage is simple. Transfer them from the bag into 5-gallon food-grade buckets. Throw in oxygen absorbers. Seal it up. Done. They take up minimal space and will feed your family for months. The nutritional profile is solid too. Oats are high in fiber, which keeps you full and helps digestion. They have decent protein for a grain. They contain important minerals like iron and magnesium. And in a crisis scenario where people are stressed and not eating well, that fiber is going to prevent serious digestive issues that could become dangerous. Item number 3 is Kirkland wild-caught canned salmon. This is in the canned goods section, and the value here is absolutely insane. You get 6 14.75-ounce cans for about $28. Each can is packed with complete protein and omega, 3 fatty acids that your body desperately needs during high-stress situations. Here is what nobody talks about. In a harvest failure scenario, protein becomes extremely valuable. The price of meat skyrockets. Fresh fish becomes unaffordable. But canned salmon sits there in your pantry, ready to go for up to 5 years. I opened a can last month that was 4 years old, and it tasted like I just bought it yesterday. But here is the real genius move. Salmon is one of the few foods that provides vitamin D, which is critical for immune function and mood regulation. In a scenario where you are stuck inside or stressed, vitamin D deficiency can destroy morale and make you sick. 1 can of this salmon provides over 100% of your daily vitamin D needs. The protein quality is off the charts. Each can has about 45 grams of complete protein. That is the equivalent of 6 eggs or a massive chicken breast. And unlike dried protein sources, there is no preparation needed. You pop the can and eat. During a 3-day winter storm last year when we lost power, I made salmon cakes on my camp stove using canned salmon, oats, and 1 egg. 10 minutes. And we had a restaurant quality meal that gave us energy for hours. Storage is brain dead simple. Keep the cans in a cool, dry place. Rotate them every few years by actually eating them and replacing. I keep 30 cans in my stockpile. That is 30 high-protein meals ready to go at a moment's notice. Item number 4 is Kirkland Organic Peanut Butter. The 2-pack of 28-ounce jars costs about $12, and this might be the smartest calories per dollar item in the entire warehouse. Peanut butter is pure survival food. It is calorie-dense at about 190 calories per 2 tablespoon serving. It is packed with protein and healthy fats. It requires 0 preparation, and kids actually love it, which matters more than you think when you're trying to keep morale up. The Kirkland Organic version has 1 ingredient: peanuts. No added sugar, no hydrogenated oils, nothing that is going to shorten shelf life. When stored properly, this will last 2 years easy, and I have personally eaten jars that were 3 years old with 0 issues. But here is where peanut butter becomes critical in a crisis. It is one of the few foods that provides instant energy and keeps you full for hours. The combination of fat, protein, and fiber slows digestion, which means you can stretch your food supply by feeling satisfied longer. Last summer during a camping trip, I watched my neighbor's kids constantly complain they were hungry even after eating. Their parents had packed mostly carbs, crackers, bread, sugary snacks. My kids ate peanut butter on whole grain crackers and stayed full all day. The difference was night and day. I keep 10 2-packs in my storage. That is 20 jars. At nearly 7,000 calories per jar, that is 140,000 calories of pure, stable nutrition. For about $120, I have covered a significant portion of my family's calorie needs for months. Stored in a cool place. The natural oil will separate, which is normal. Just stir it up when you open it. And here's a survival hack I learned from a long-distance hiker. Mix peanut butter with honey and oats to make no-bake energy balls. They last for weeks and provide incredible sustained energy. Item number 5 is Kirkland Organic Tomato Sauce. This comes in a 12-pack of 15-ounce cans for about $10. And I know what you are thinking, tomato sauce? But stay with me, because this is brilliant for multiple reasons. First, tomato sauce is a foundation of dozens of meals. Pasta sauce, chili base, soup starter, pizza sauce, stew thickener. Having variety in a long-term food situation is not a luxury. It is a necessity for mental health. But here is what makes this specific product smart. The Kirkland Organic version has minimal ingredients: tomatoes, salt, citric acid. Nothing artificial, which means better shelf life and better nutrition. Canned tomato products typically last 3 to 5 years, but I have used cans that were 6 years old with perfect quality. The nutritional value is real. Tomatoes are loaded with lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that supports immune function. In a crisis scenario when stress is high and immune systems are compromised, lycopene could literally keep you healthy. Here is my real-world example. During a 2-week period last year when grocery prices spiked hard, we lived almost entirely off our stockpile. We had rice, beans, oats, the basics. But tomato sauce transformed everything. I made tomato soup by mixing it with coconut milk and spices. I made rice and beans interesting by adding sauce and cooking it together. I made quick flatbread pizzas that made my kids forget we were even rationing. One case cost $10. I bought 10 cases. That is 120 cans for $100. That is 120 meals transformed from boring survival food into something your family actually wants to eat. Storage is simple. Cool, dry place, away from direct temperature swings. And here is something food scientists confirmed. The acidity in tomato products actually helps preserve other foods when combined, making your entire meal safer and longer lasting. Item number 6 is Kirkland Organic Quinoa. This is a game changer that most preppers completely miss. The Costco pack gives you 4.5 pounds for about $14. Quinoa is one of the few plant-based foods that contains all 9 essential amino acids, making a complete protein. This is massive in a scenario where meat is scarce or unaffordable. The shelf life is incredible. Stored in airtight containers, quinoa lasts up to 8 years. Compare that to brown rice at 2 to 3 years max. But here's what makes quinoa brilliant for crisis food. It cooks fast. In just 15 minutes, you have a nutritious, filling meal. When fuel is limited, this efficiency matters enormously. I learned about quinoa from a friend who does long-term wilderness trips. He said quinoa is what climbers use at high altitudes because it is easy to digest, provides lasting energy, and does not require much cooking fuel. The nutritional density is off the charts. 1 cup of cooked quinoa has 8 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, and significant amounts of iron, magnesium, and B vitamins. During a health crisis or food shortage, those micronutrients could be the difference between staying functional and falling apart. Here is my storage method. Transfer from the plastic bag into half-gallon mason jars with oxygen absorbers. Label them with the date. Store in a cool, dark pantry. I keep about 30 pounds in my stockpile. That is enough to provide a complete protein source for my family for months. And here's a bonus. Quinoa is naturally gluten-free. If anyone in your family has gluten issues, this becomes an absolute lifeline when wheat products are problematic. Item number 7 is Kirkland Organic Extra Virgin Olive Oil. The 2-pack of 2-liter bottles costs about $24, and this is liquid gold in a crisis scenario. Olive oil has been a survival staple for thousands of years because it provides critical calories, healthy fats, and it lasts. The shelf life on properly stored olive oil is 18 to 24 months. But I am going to teach you a trick that extends it even further. Store it in a cool, dark place. Heat and light are the enemies. Keep the bottles in their original dark containers, and consider putting them in a dark cabinet or wrapping them in a towel. I keep mine in a basement storage area where temperature stays consistent. Here is what makes olive oil critical. It is one of the healthiest fats you can consume. It is loaded with antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. In a high-stress survival situation, inflammation becomes a serious problem, and olive oil helps combat that. You can cook with it, use it raw on salads or bread, use it medicinally on skin issues, and even use as fuel for oil lamps if you get desperate. During a power outage last winter, we used olive oil lamps for lighting, and they burned clean for hours. But here's the key: rotate your stock. Buy new bottles and move the older ones to your everyday cooking. This way, nothing goes bad, and you are always maintaining a fresh stockpile. I keep about 12 2-liter bottles. That is enough cooking oil for my family for over a year if we needed it. The calorie density is incredible. 1 tablespoon is 120 calories of pure, healthy fat. In a rationing scenario, adding olive oil to meals significantly boosts calorie content without adding bulk. Item number 8 is Kirkland Organic Coconut Water. This comes in a 12-pack of individual cartons for about $20. And this is your emergency electrolyte solution. Here's what most people do not know. Coconut water is nature's sports drink. It is loaded with potassium, magnesium, sodium, and natural sugars. In a crisis scenario where people are doing physical labor, stressed, or dealing with illness, dehydration, and electrolyte imbalance become serious threats. Store-bought sports drinks are full of artificial ingredients and have short shelf lives. Coconut water in these Tetra Pak cartons lasts up to 12 months and provides real, natural electrolytes. I learned this lesson the hard way during a summer heat wave when our air conditioning died. We were sweating constantly, drinking tons of water, but feeling worse. I remembered the coconut water in my stockpile, and within an hour of drinking it, we all felt massively better. The electrolytes made all the difference. Here's my strategy. I keep about 10-12 packs. That is 120 individual cartons. Each one is shelf-stable, portable, and provides instant hydration. In a bug-out scenario, these are gold. Storage is easy. Keep them at room temperature in a dry place. Rotate them by drinking them before expiration and buying fresh. And here is something medical professionals confirmed. In emergencies, coconut water has actually been used as an 4-hydration solution because its electrolyte composition is so similar to human blood plasma. Item number 9 is Kirkland mixed nuts. The 2.5-pound container costs about $18, and this is nutrient-dense survival food hiding in plain sight. Nuts provide protein, healthy fats, fiber, vitamins, and minerals in a compact, shelf-stable form. The mixed nuts variety gives you almonds, cashews, pecans, and walnuts. Each type brings unique nutritional benefits. The shelf life on these, when stored properly, is about a year at room temperature. But here's a trick. Store them in your freezer if you have space, and they last up to 2 years. I keep some in the freezer and rotate others through regular eating. But here is why nuts are critical. They are one of the few foods that provide complete satisfaction. The combination of fat, protein, and fiber means you feel full fast and stay full long. In a rationing scenario, that psychological satisfaction prevents constant hunger pangs that destroy morale. During a week-long power outage, we relied heavily on mixed nuts for snacks. They required zero preparation, tasted good, and kept energy levels stable. I keep about 20 containers in my stockpile. That is 50 pounds of nuts. The caloric density is incredible, about 160 calories per ounce. That is serious fuel in a small package. And here's a survival hack. Crush nuts into a powder and add oatmeal or rice. This stretches your supply while boosting nutrition significantly. Item number 10 is Kirkland organic chicken broth. The 6-pack of 32-ounce cartons costs about $12, and this is the secret weapon for making your stockpile food actually edible. Broth is the foundation of flavor. When you're eating rice, beans, oats, and quinoa every day, adding broth transforms everything from bland survival rations into real meals. But here's what makes this specific product smart. The Kirkland organic version is high quality with minimal sodium and no weird additives. And those Tetra Pak cartons are genius because they are shelf-stable for 12 to 18 months without refrigeration. I keep about 30 cartons in my stockpile. Every single meal we make from our food storage gets elevated with broth. Cook your rice in broth instead of water. Cook your quinoa in broth. Make soups and stews with it. The difference in taste and your family's willingness to eat is massive. Here is my real-world test. Last month, I served my kids plain rice. They complained after 3 bites. The next night, same rice cooked in chicken broth with a little salt. They ate 2 bowls each and asked for more. That is the power of broth in a crisis scenario. Storage is simple. Keep them at room temperature in a dark pantry. Rotate them by using in regular cooking and replacing. And here is something nutritionists told me. Real chicken broth contains collagen and amino acids that support gut health and immune function, which becomes critical during stressful times. Look, here's the bottom line. Something significant is potentially coming in 2026. Maybe it happens, maybe it does not. But the smart move is to prepare now while food is available and affordable. These 10 items from Costco represent real practical food storage that your family will actually eat. This is not freeze-dried space food. This is real nutrition that keeps you healthy and sane during extended disruptions. The total cost for building a solid stockpile of these items is under $1,000, and that buys you months of food security. Listen, this deep dive into smart bulk buying isn't just about stocking up. It's a solid, proactive investment in your family's future and peace of mind. The plan is simple. Keep the total spend under $1,000 while grabbing these 10 essential Costco must-haves. That's how you secure a massive win. We're not talking about a week of groceries. This smart cash allocation buys your family months of security, health, and high morale when things get bumpy. Stop waiting for a crisis. Don't make the mistake of waiting until shelves are bare and prices are insane. Get prepped today. Preparedness is the ultimate shield against both inflation and shortages. To get you started right, grab our free emergency pantry blueprint. The Quick Start Guide is linked down below. Coming up next, we're shifting gears and revealing the non-food essentials. Everything you need for a total 2026 readiness plan, from first aid kits to backup power. Don't miss a thing. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We love hearing from you. So drop a comment and let us know which of the 10 Costco items you're grabbing first. Let's stay prepared together.